Okay, I'm back on this southern PA property and the logging's all finished. This is the log landing, 1/4 acre carved into the side of the hill here. And as you can see, it needs to be worked on. We have a lot of stone. Most of the debris is off, which is good. Loggers took care of that, but we have some of these decent sized rocks. The organic layer is pretty much gone. It was very, very thin. And there's clay soil with a lot of rock in it. So we're gonna have to work on this soil. First step is to get some lime here. I'm waiting for a guy to show up here in a minute with a lime truck. And I'm gonna measure these exactly so we know how much lime to put on. Then we're gonna bring chicken manure, get the chicken manure on these plots, and you know, around 3 tons to the acre. Probably going to be about 5 tons to the acre of lime, 3 tons of chicken manure, and grind it all in, and then windrow the rocks off of the place, get everything leveled up and planted. So here's a skid trail that what I did was I had the guys come and take all the trees off the edge of this so it's daylighted. Okay. See how sunny it is on the trail? You know, it's sunny that way, it's sunny out through here. So once you daylight the trail, you can get things to grow on it. You know, most of the day you have, this is kind of pointed to the southeast, and get plenty of sun. Look at how this maple, I'm going to turn this around. Cut this maple off in the spring and it sprouted right away, and the deer are just going to town on it. It's good if you're feeding deer, not so good if you're trying to grow timber. But this is strictly a deer hunting setup. And as you look up through the woods, you can see that there's sunlight in the woods. So I expect blackberries, forbs. We sprayed this parcel last year in the summer. We sprayed all the stiltgrass, mile-a-minute weed, and anything else we could find that's invasive so it doesn't go nuts in here. Here comes my lime. Here's the next food plot. Rocks are even bigger over here. That's a good sized food plot, probably a 1/2 acre, and then we have another 1/2 acre food plot beyond this, and then we're going to plant the trails in between. The way to hunt this is probably going to be to get in a stand on the trails so we're not spooking deer off the food plots, and we can catch them walking down through here in the evenings. Up the hill is going to be bedding, and we'll work on that as well. Probably work on that with a chainsaw and a habitat hook. We'll make excellent bedding up there. The idea here is to get the best bedding with plenty of food in the fall, because the biggest buck in the neighborhood is going to take the best site to bed down in. If we make the best site here, you can kill a big buck every year, and another big buck will take over the area and maybe get multiple victims. I don't know. We'll see. Here comes my dump truck along. We'll get that at least dumped for now, and then we'll get some other things done. I want to get everything measured so we know how much to put on. Okay, so back at this southern Pennsylvania property, it is now time to put these soil amendments on, de-stone everything, and till everything in. And we're going to plant it today. Even though it's mid-January, I'm not a big fan of trying to plant food plots in the middle of the summer because it's just too damn hot and dry. But we've been getting pretty steady rains, and we have a lot of clay component in this soil so it can store moisture. We plant it just right, and we're expecting thunderstorms tonight. Should be able to get germination on everything and get a decent food plot even though it's summertime. So let me show you what's going on. You can see that we have lime on the skid trails in between the food plots. Carl's up there now tilling everything in. There's lime on here at 5 tons to the acre. And there's about 3 tons of chicken manure going in. It stinks something awful, but once he gets it tilled in and it rains on it, that'll be all incorporated into the soil. And when you use chicken manure, it is so full of nutrients and organic matter that it's just wonderful for food plots. You just can't beat it, especially if you're growing clover. Now what we're going to do is put in a fall cover crop mix to establish a planting here and to build up good organic matter in the soil. We want to get good root growth. Boy, look at those rocks. That looks like a mica type of stone. It's very interesting geology around here. So it looks a little stony right now, but this is all getting tilled in, and then we're going to windrow it to level it up and move the stones off to the side. A little while later we'll be putting in some water tanks, and I've got to pick a good spot for that, so that's going to be the next thing. I think what I'll do for this water tank, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bank here. And here's the skid trail. There's about 1 foot to 16 inches of hill coming up from there. And what we'll do is just dig this out. We'll just dig that out and stick that tank right in there. The log landing food plot is here. Stump there, putting some mineral on. There's a grapevine. I think I could probably make a pretty nice scrape location with water tub and food. Plus there's an intersection of trails here and a couple good trees to hunt out of. You can hunt out of that tree in the background there, or maybe even this one, maybe that one. There's lots of choices. Sorry about that, the tractor came by. So I'm looking at that maple tree right there. So you can stick a stand in there. That'll be a beautiful spot. You can sneak in from the back in this area. Just come out of the house from the left of your screen. Come in here, crawl up into a stand right there, and be able to probably sneak out of there without any deer spotting you. So we're going to have a food trail, what I call a food trail here, and food trails between the 3 food plots. And most of the time you're going to want to be hunting not right on the food plots, but off to the side so you can get in and get out without spooking deer out of them. But I really think we may put the water hole in here. Just move it down just a little bit. Now, let me think it over. we're putting a whole mishmash of seed on there. And then we're going to go over it with that windrower one more time. Move more rocks off. Incorporate the seed in. On the bottom, we're going to put gamma grass, eastern gamma, and sun hemp. Both of them will probably get 5 feet tall. That'll screen this food plot from the house, which is about, I'm saying, 75 yards that way. So deer feel comfortable in here. So this guy is a very busy man, so he may get home from work, scoot out of the house real quick, get him on the stand, and hunt for an hour after work. Alright, so if you look at the sides, you see the rocks that were pushed off of this thing. This is the final windrowing pass where you'll start in the middle and it'll just start working it towards the outer edge. And when you get to the outer edge, you're done. Then we'll put the small seed on and cultipack it and let her grow. Right now there's corn and peas pretty much are in that mix. And then we spread some sun hemp and eastern gamma down along the edge where we want it to get tall and act as a screen. Alright, so that's about it for that. The next thing we're going to put on is some ladino. Tell us the good stuff because it comes in this beautiful golden bag. Yikes. And chicory, the king of forests. This stuff, if you can get it to grow, it's magical. Doesn't matter how much drought you get, it always grows. Deer love it, and it lasts a long, long time. So get you some chicory.